Hello everyone. In this video, I would like to discuss PTSD and trauma and how it relates to the spiritual battle going on between good and evil. So to get right in, if you have PTSD, that means you suffered some kind of traumatic event and your feelings are valid and it's a real thing to experience PTSD. But what I want to talk about is the part of PTSD that's hidden in most people, and that's the sign of a demonic activity, whether it's oppression or possession, or maybe it's just starting to bother you. If you have PTSD, chances are you are suffering from some kind of demonic being that's attacking you. And I'll just give you a story of what happened to me based off of my own experiences. So, in the lead up to my death, I was talking to my coworker about all the things that had happened in my past because I was kind of like going through everything. It was like everything was flashing before my eyes. And Satan took that opportunity because he possessed me. At the time, I didn't know I was possessed. But he took the opportunity to take advantage of the situation and he put me into a visual hallucination. I was totally in this other world in which I can explain that before this happened, what led to this false vision is I was telling my coworker that I used to work for the police department in Detroit. I wanted to start my own nonprofit organization, and what I would do is I would do stuff involving organized crime. I'd work with special operations units, and I'd work with the gang unit, and I worked with the FBI. So I was an FBI consultant, and I did a bunch of things with them. But what led to this traumatic memory, it wasn't a memory, it was implanted by Satan. But anyways, when he put me in this memory, there was no way out of it. And I was completely immersed in this event that never happened. So when I appeared in this vision, I was in the back of a SWAT car, and we were driving to a location, and at this location, the police were going to clear it, and the police wanted me to wear a ski mask to cover my face, and they wanted me to execute somebody. Okay, and I'll get that in another video as executions, and who deserves to live and die, and whose power that ultimately is. But just to stick with the story, so the police raid the house, and they have a guy who's in a chair and he's tied up, and they want me to interrogate this guy. So I'm not in control of this vision at all. I don't have any control. I walk into the room. When I see the guy, I have a gun in my hand and I'm holding his head and I'm interrogating this guy. And I was stuck. I was stuck in this vision like this for what appeared to be forever. I don't know how long. I don't know if it's 2 minutes or 5 minutes or 10 minutes. But I was stuck, frozen in this position with a gun to somebody's head. I had no idea what was going on because I didn't remember it. It turns out it was a false memory. It was a false vision. But I can only imagine somebody who does have PTSD, because I have PTSD, but it's different than like a war veteran's PTSD. But from this instance of me in this vision, I can tell it's probably like a PTSD where you're just totally immersed in something and there's no way out. It just plays out. Luckily, my coworker never put my hand down. I begged and I pleaded for mercy, and she wouldn't do it. She's pretty evil, but we'll get to that in another video. So yeah, if you have PTSD, chances are if you're constantly thinking about the traumatic event, if you are reminded about it every day, if it's hard for you to function, you probably have a demon problem, because what they can do is they can put these images and thoughts into your mind that remind you of the event. So they just re-trigger you over and over and over and over and over again. And what a demon's goal is to break you down and destroy you. So that's just one example of PTSD and something that can happen to you, happen to me. Luckily, I was saved by, actually, I didn't know at the time, but it was the Mother of God there, and she snapped me out of this, and she took the gun away. Which, thank God, because I was stuck there for like 10 minutes. It seemed like forever. But not everyone has divine intervention like me. So if you have PTSD, if you have these vivid experiences, if you're getting stuck in these full hallucinations where you're in another world, chances are you're probably dealing with something demonic. Um, Always get help for your medical needs, like always get help for your mental health, but on top of that, there's probably another issue going on. You're probably under a demonic attack, because that's what happened to me. And before that event happened, I had PTSD involving family situations and family trauma. So that's complex post-traumatic stress disorder. But this encompasses all PTSD. It can be from war, it can be from domestic violence, rape, it can be from anything. So I hope you take this message well, and if you need to, if you think there's something more going on, because chances are they are, if you're having these thoughts all the time, it's worth getting looked at by a priest, or at least talking to a priest somewhere where they believe in deliverance and they believe in this kind of stuff. For me, I had to run to the Catholic Church. That's the only place that believes in deliverance around me that I'm aware of. So go to your local Catholic church and seek help and just pray and know that it's going to be okay. But there's more than just these mental illnesses out there. And there's more to PTSD than you believe. So with that, take care, and if you want to shoot me a message in the comments, feel free to do so. I can tell you more about my experiences. And have a great day.